the Padres are looking to shop Dylan Cease and Michael King. I think we knew Cease was a possibility. I think we've known that for a little while. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that was news with the Michael King edition, but I feel like lately, or as of yesterday, the day before, Michael King's name has been floated out as a possible trade option for the Padres, looking to move on from that contract as he enters. Well, both of them are going into their final season of ARB control. So, I would have thought that the certainly, maybe they're just testing the waters, but I would have thought that maybe with the way that King had pitched, and I think the way a lot of people had, at least close to that franchise, would have hoped that he would have pitched as coming back as part of that return for Soto. Why wouldn't you try to find a way to make that work? I mean, that's a piece that you're. And I understand you're logjam with some pretty ugly contracts right now. I get that. But I can't imagine that contract, should it come time to pay the man. I can't imagine that being an albatross of a contract.
I'm trying to figure out what is there like another play here? Is there like another thing they're trying to like manipulate the market in a way? I'm looking at who's left on the free agent list, and outside of like Flaherty, there's not really any other pitchers that I would say this is worth it for. Alonso, which would be the strangest fit in the world in my mind, and Alex Bregman, which they don't need. So, like, I'm trying to figure out is there anything else to this? Because I'm super tired of the Dylan Cease back and forth thing. Like, are you in or out? Like, what's the point of making these moves and being out a year later? Like, I don't know. We've said this multiple times during the offseason. Like, you had so many different Dodgers saying that was the hardest series they played, and that was the team they were most worried about in the postseason.
And you've got a lot of people asking if the Dodgers broke the Padres.
Like, the Padres are so good. You're so good.
They were.
You have everything right there.
They're losing pieces, man. You've lost Profar. You've lost Kim.
Replaceable pieces in my mind.
Sure, but if you
the core is still there.
I understand, but like that core is not getting any younger. And if you're talking about shedding these pieces potentially, you're only declining. And who's to say that they even replace the guys that they lost? They're yes, at the end of the day, on paper, replaceable players. But if you're shedding further names and you don't replace those guys, where does that leave you? In a worse place than you were last year. When, like you said, Dodgers were very clear as to the challenges that series in the postseason provided them. You were close. You were knocking on the door of being a legitimate threat to what has become the beast of Major League Baseball. And then you're undoing it all. You're walking it all back. You say, let's step back. Let's retreat back to HQ, figure this out, and then we'll go at it again. Why? You didn't need to do that.
They have nothing. They have nothing to work with. Their farm is shot. And it's strange to me that, like, so you look at like a Dave Dombrowski and you get it. Like, he's going to clean out your farm. He's going to max out your credit cards, but he's going to double down on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he does. That's the route we're going. That's the type of roster we're going to build, and we're going to do it until we find a ring. Now, it's been a weird situation in Philly, but like AJ Preller, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand. You trade for superstars, you get rid of the superstar next year. You give up all your prospects to get superstar. Then you reverse it. You're getting really close to being the top dog in the NL multiple times, and then you like to, it's like every step they take forward, it's 2 steps back, and it's their own doing. And I can't figure out why they're doing it. I don't figure out why they're like, I have nothing against Xander Bogaerts, but like that was a dumb contract. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't smart.
2 things on that. It was a dumb contract. No, 3 things. It was a dumb contract. You'd be dumb not to take that if you're Xander Bogaerts. And 3, I said it when the deal happened, or I said it when he started to decline. I said that his level of output would not have plummeted to the level that it did had he stayed in Boston. I believe that. I truly do.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
But to your point about the farm system, you weren't wrong, dude. The list that I'm looking at has them 28th. They've just been gutted, and this article goes into talking about the potential impact of being able to offload Cease to replenish that a little bit. So it makes sense why they're doing it, but I don't know, man.
I think it is tough because they had obviously their owner passed away, so like their ownership change in the middle of this era that they're in. Then maybe the philosophy changes and Preller's, forced, to make do and figure things out. And here's his limitations that you have to follow moving forward. Like maybe that's the scenario. But at the same time, I feel like, you're already this far in. Might as well keep going. You know what I mean? Might as well go for it. And like, at the very least, you can potentially have a ring to show for it.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like that's the Phillies. That's why I use that comp. Because it's like, that's the Dombrowski mentality is like, we're going all in. I'm going to burn everything.
Exactly. Milk every last bit you can before the wheels fall off, and then hit the reset button and go at it again.
And you know what? Like whether you agree with that or not, and there's probably Philly fans in the chat that are like, actually, I hate this right now, but at least you could say they went for it. At least you could say they tried everything they could, which majority of organizations aren't doing. So it's like, if you're the Padres, you've committed this much money to your core. You've gone this far in with Xander and Manny and Tatis and Cronenworth, all long-term deals. Like, fill in the gaps and go for it. Now's not the time to get rid of. It's not even freaking frontline talent. We're talking ace Cy Young talent. And Michael King was the return for Soto. So it's like, I don't understand.
I feel like he's like, I mean, call me crazy. Well, it's not crazy to say, but I understand there's a business side to these discussions. But I feel like Michael King's a great fit in San Diego. I don't know why. He just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like one of those guys.
He'll be a household name. I understand
you've been
a lot of people knew about him after the Soto trade because that was like the premier name. He will be a household name within a year or two. I can promise you. He's insanely good.
I'll credit you for that. Yeah, I mean, this isn't new. This isn't a new take. You've been saying this for a while.
Saying that when he was still a setup man. Like he's got it. So that's coming. But yeah, man, I'm confused with all of it.